Alright, budget magic time. Playing some Spirit Clue Flash. In standard. Alright, we'll try it. With a third land, this hand's not bad. And the fourth land, plus an artifact. It's insane. Our negate. Okay, we'll see. If this is like Super Friends, this should be good. It is Naya. Land? It is technically land. Alright, let's just pass. Leave up our counters. Leave up rattle chains. One thing I really like about our deck is our flash flying creatures are pretty good at pressuring planeswalkers. Alright, Creature Nissa, that's fine. So let's just rattle chains. Aha! The lands are coming. Alright, get in with rattle chains. Leave up our negate for a Gideon or something. Also leave up Stasis Snare on Nissa if we don't have to counter a Gideon. 18-18. Alright, Tireless Tracker, Evolving Wilds. Well, this is annoying, but we gotta do it. Stasis Snare, they can crack their Evolving Wilds to get the second clue token. We also gotta be aware of Nahiri, exiling Stasis Snare. That would be bad now. Alright, Island, get in with rattle chains. Pass the turn, leave up our counters. When it gets in with Nissa. And passes? Interesting. Well, Westville Abbey. Get in with rattle chains. This potentially lets them resolve a planeswalker. But I think we have to counter draw. And Thraben Inspector actually is not bad. At least that gives us something we can play here, and it gives us a clue for Thopter Spy Network. But we're shields down to a planeswalker here. Nahiri is probably the worst because it can just come down, exile Stasis Snare. Although then we get to kill the Nahiri, so maybe that's not the worst. Gets in with Nissa. What is this? There's Nahiri. Well, let's see what Nahiri does. Alright, Nahiri just gets back Tireless Tracker. And we get another Stasis Snare. Alright, let's kill Nahiri. And then just Stasis Snare the Tireless Tracker. Actually, no, let's Stasis Snare Nissa. They already have so many clues that the Tireless Tracker isn't that scary. And we can Reflector Mage it, which isn't bad. Craig's a clue. So now we have up Negate or Dimensional Infiltrator. Plus we can chump with Thraben Inspector if we need to. Plays a land, gets a clue. Goes to attacks. Yeah, we're gonna chump with Thraben Inspector. Oh, Chandra? Atarka? Yikes! Oh, I was not expecting Atarka. Now we're kind of in trouble. We do not have a good answer to Atarka. Dimensional Infiltrator. I guess we just Reflector Mage. Bounce Atarka. Get in for 2. We're going to need to draw into a real counter spell for that Atarka before it can come back down. We just don't have a good answer for Atarka main deck. Gets another clue. Goes to attacks. Alright, take our beats. Cracks a clue. Draws a card. Down to 9. Nissa. Alright. Let's negate Nissa. Advocate. Not a real counter. I think that means we scoop. Because they get an Atarka again next turn. So we want real counters. Many of them. Also the negates. And the last Stasis Snare. Gonna go down Thopter Spy Network. Since it dies to Nahiri, which is a pretty good reason not to play it. I guess that also makes Stasis Snare a little risky. But I don't think we have a choice. I think we need to keep some number of Stasis Snares and hope that our counters are good enough. And go down... Gotta make one more cut. I guess we can go down a Reflector Mage. Let's try it like that. Alright, we get to play first. Well, we got some counters. We also have a lot of tap lands, unfortunately. Port Town, go. Drawing a basic would be awesome. Then we could actually play the basic untapped. Or play the Port Town untapped and then play the basic. Alright, let's Westville Abbey. At least it's an untapped land. Not the best untapped land, but it's still an untapped land. Deathcap Cultivator. Alright. I'm not going to worry about countering that. We'll Dimensional Infiltrator. Port Town. No reveal. Get in with Infiltrator. Let the Tempo Wing begin. So now we got Clash X1 or Negate. Well, we'll take advantage of our opponent trying to slow roll the land to Clash to the Tireless Tracker. There's the land. Land? Alright, island's good. Let's get in with our Infiltrator and just pass. Another Tireless Tracker? Alright. Actually, let's let that go. Opponent goes to attacks. We'll Stasis Snare. Get rid of Tireless Tracker. Take 2. Another Dimensional Infiltrator. Well, opponent's down to 14. We have a lot of flying power. Not quite a 2-turn clock, though. We do have Clash for Atarka, which is big game. And Negate for Nahiri. Oath of Nissa. Finds Canopy Vista. I'm assuming land probably wasn't what they were looking for, but maybe. No, definitely not. Evolving Wilds. Opponent gets in for 2. Down to 16. Ooh, alright. Well, we'll take advantage of this to Dimensional Infiltrator and Dimensional Infiltrator. So we have a lot of flying power now. Port Town, tapped. Get in with our Infiltrators. Put our opponent down to 8. Not quite 1 turn. Sacks the Glue. Sacks Evolving Wilds. So we gotta hope that these 2 counter spells are enough to get us through this turn and 1 more turn. Radiant Flames, we can't have happen. Chandra, we can't have happen. Atarka, we can't have happen. We should be able to stop any 2 of those, unless they're both Atarkas. then we could have problems. If they can, like, Atarka, untap Atarka, we can't negate Atarka. Declaration in stone. Well, let's see if we can bounce this. That would be the best way to do this. Now, we exiled an Atarka. Well, alright. Try to bounce it, that fails, then negate. Hopefully they can't follow this up by Radiant Flames. Canopy Vista. Exiling Atarka is randomly nice. That is one thing we didn't want our opponent to draw. Goes to attacks. Oh, they just pass? Alright, Island. Swing with the crew. Archangel Avacyn. Alright, Clash of Wills. We're empty-handed. Our opponent's at 2. Do they have a way to blow us out? No Atarka, no Chandra, no Radiant Flames. Also Declaration in Stone to a lesser extent. Sylvan Advocate, that is not what we were worried about. Whoa, Sylvan Advocate Needle Spires? That's their play? Then I think we win. I mean, we take 8-10, but then we just swing back for lethal. And I don't think they can blow us out from here. Yeah, sweet. Well, the temple plan held up. We had just enough counters. And alright, on to game 3. Sweet. Whew. This deck is actually pretty cool. Alright, game 3 against Naya Midrange. And this is good if we draw a third land. Prairie Stream Goo. Without the third land, we just don't really do anything. But being on the draw, I think it's okay. Land? Alright, Port Town's fine. That's good. So now we're kind of in business. At least we can start playing our hand. Opponent's going to get in with Advocate for 2. Plains. They don't have Planeswalker mana. Deathcap Cultivator. Well, I guess it's Dimensional Infiltrator. Land, get in for 2. And then we're going to pass, leave up Void Shatter and Stasis Snare. Is it worth using our Void Shatter here? Yeah, let's Void Shatter. It does leave us somewhat shields down against the Planeswalker. Opponent gets in for 4. Land. Well, let's get in with Dimensional Infiltrator. Reflector Mage, bounce. Let's bounce Deathcap, actually. Which puts our opponent closer to playing something like an Atarka. Nissa, alright. Gets our opponent another land. We still don't have a counter for an Atarka, which is scary. No, we don't. Alright, let's get in with Dimensional Infiltrator. And just pass the turn, leave up Negate, Dimensional Infiltrator, and Stasis Snare. I mean, I guess we can get rid of an Atarka, but not until after it wipes our board. Let's Stasis Snare the Advocate. Hopefully they don't have a Nahiri to punish us. We don't have enough mana to leave up Negate as well. They only have 3 unknowns. We know one of their cards is that Deathcap Cultivator. They don't have double red for Chandra. Alright, Gideon. Gideon's annoying. Makes a 2-2. Land here wouldn't be bad. Rattle chains. Alright, I think we need to attack Gideon. And pretty much we're just hoping our opponent doesn't have Atarka. Atarka's the card that I don't think we can beat here. We just don't have the right counter. Maybe it was too greedy to spend it on the Tireless Tracker. That's the thing about the Naya deck, is they have so many haymakers. So many cards that feel like you really need to counter them. Alright, gonna get frisky with Gideon. Well, we're gonna take 5 for now, unfortunately. Down to 9. There's the land. Flips Nissa. Draws a card. It's a land. Evolving Wilds. Well, maybe they don't have Atarka. That's what we're hoping. I don't think they play that many. They probably play like 1 or 2. Declaration Stone, sure. Deathcap Cultivator, fine. Alright, let's Rattle Chains and Dimensional Infiltrator. Land? Alright, there's a land. So 1, 2, 3. Bygone Bishop. I think we need to focus on killing Nissa. And then kill Gideon next turn. Because Nissa draws cards, and we can't really have our opponent drawing extra cards. So, barring an Atarka off the top, I think we're in pretty good shape here. We can negate pretty much any other threat that really matters. We kill Gideon next turn with our flyers. We got the ground creatures locked down. Really? Oh, seriously, world? Alright, well, our opponent peeled the Atarka. Good God. Alright, I mean, we can try to play it out, but I don't think it matters here. They kill all our flyers, and then they have an Atarka and a Gideon. Well, that was the one card we had to hope our opponent didn't draw, and they drew it. So that's the story of this game. In their excitement of their top deck, they forgot to attack with Gideon. Port Town doesn't really help. Land doesn't help, and oh, we had them. Well, they drew the Atarka. Can't do anything about that.